Alright guys, I don't know if I've done this right or not, but I thought I would share. If I've done something wrong, let me know, because I'm not positive on any of this. Okay, here's what I've done. I've ran a positive wire, which is this wire here, straight from the battery, going to this fuse block. This fuse block is powered at all times. There's my memory wire, and it's hot at all times. And then I jumped off the block and went straight to the key switch. See this black and white wire right here? That goes over here to my key switch, the black and white wire right there. So this other fuse block is hot. It's dead right now. But as soon as I turn the key on, let me pull this fuse out so you can tell when power comes on. When I turn the key on, it energizes this fuse block. And the wires that I have used are these four right here that I've hooked up from the fourth plug, far right hand side. Fourth is B plus, is I have to go back to that one and find it. Switch power, ignition switch. And on the, like I said, the plug, I got four plugs. It's the 34, 22, 16, and 28 pin. I'm only using the 28 pin. 28 pin, I got four wires coming in here. It's the black and red, black and orange. This is supposed to be a different color. I just had an extra wire. It's brown here. I'll follow it back here in a minute. I also have two plus B for ignition power. Like I said, my memory is hot all the time. So it's getting battery power straight from the battery. Okay, now I got these three relays here. One's running the fuel pump. One's running the blue and black wire. It's also a switch power. It's the plus B switch power. Okay, and then the other one is, let me trace it. Oh, that's your main sensor power. I put the main sensor power on a relay. Fuel pump's on a relay, main sensor's on a relay, and plus B's on a relay. Plus B to ignition, that is. Switch power. There is also a plus B for the O2s. I got that on there. The brown wire. Whoops, I was going to follow the brown wire. I can't remember what the brown wire was. Looks to me like it's a ground. Why in the hell do I have that going to that? That shouldn't even be powered. This wire here is an M rail. It says it turns on the fuel pump. I don't even use it because it's low voltage. It's like, I don't know, 5 volts. So that won't work for what I'm doing. But you also have the wiring harness coming off the engine underneath the passenger side of the dash on the LS400 95. This is a 95 LS400. You have this other big white plug. You will need that because that's where your starter wire is, which is there, big black one. You also have your black and orange, which is your sensor wire. You'll have your small black and orange, and you'll have a black and red, and that's all you'll use. So you use like 3 wires, 4 wires, 3 wires on this one, and 3 or 4 wires on this one, and that's all you need to run the motor. Okay, now I did hook up, all the browns are ground, and I went over to the ground with it. I told you that this white and red wire is hot all the time. Okay, I got a green one here that goes to all the relays. It's also a ground, so I use the green wire for a ground going to the relays. The hot wire goes to this box. It's hot all the time, and it's for memory, and it's for the relays. I'm thinking about changing that. I'd like some advice on that. Maybe I need to change it. And then I have this one for when you turn it on. So you got 4 wires on the fuse panel there, plus this one here. It's hot all the time. Then, and like I said, those come off the white plug and the 4th plug. Okay? Now you come over here, and you can see that there's a cable off of the engine harness. Okay, it goes to an eyelet, which usually goes to the fuse box in the LS400. You got to power that up. Okay, on that same wiring harness, you'll see a plug. It's a black plug. I only used 1 wire out of it so far, and that 1 wire that I used goes over, so whenever I turn the key on, it's right here. That wire there, when it gets power, energizes the alternator. The ground, of course, is for the relays that I have over there. It's just routed over to here. The rest of this wiring over here is for my electric fan. I'm not going to go through that. Okay? But you do have to have your ground from your car. You got to have your positive from your car. So this is your positive from your car, and then you got this other one also. It went to fuses. I need to relocate that because I got me this now, and it will be going right here. This one here will be going here. So if I ever have any problem, it'll switch the breaker. I do have breaker. I do have fuses. I just don't know if I got them in the right locations. Okay? So there's not very many wires to make this sucker run. I have ran this engine about 15 minutes ago. And I'll show you what I got. Do it all with a key. So I can put this motor in the truck, just clean the wiring harness up, and I don't have to use anything from the Toyota except for maybe going to alternator light, dummy light, tying into that, tying into the oil light, tying into the fuel pump. You know, there's only going to be 2 or 3 wires for that. I couldn't believe how simple it was. I noticed that they act funny whenever you change the air filter, because something about this tube right here. I just got that jerry rigged up there. Anyway. Then again, I got, like I said, this is, it says from O2 to a plus B power. So I put that on switch power. And this one is a switch power. It's black and red. These two are black and red. And then the ignition switch is black and orange. And I'll show you that it's charging. Alright, I'll go through it one more time. Like I say, let me know if you think I got something wrong. Haven't had any issues so far. But here's my 34 pin, 22 pin, 16 pin, 28 pin. These three here you don't have to mess with. The fourth pin, which is under your dash on the passenger side, like everything else is. I used these two right here, these two big black tape ones. Those go to your secondary O2 sensors. I was told I don't need them because it's going to throw a code anyway, because I'm not using cats. I used the blue wire with a black stripe. I used the black wire with a yellow stripe, that's your memory. I used the other blue wire with a black stripe, both of those for the O2 sensors. The MRL wire, I ain't even using it. It's not even hooked up to nothing because it's only like 5 volts, so it won't work with fuel pump because I did away with all that. And I got the fuel pump relay going straight off that fuse box. Anyway, come back over here. I have a hot at all time fuse box coming straight from the power. White wires coming straight from the battery power off of that 100 amp fuse block that I got by the battery. Then it comes out of here hot, and it goes straight to the key switch right here. And it's hot to here. And it's not hot going out of the key switch till turn the key on. Also, just seen something. You have a neutral safety switch. It's got to be energized just for an instant at starting. You can see I tied it's a black wire with a white stripe. I tied it into my starter wire. The starter wire goes here, and it's only there for an instant. That's all it has to be, just to see that it's in neutral or park. Okay, on this plug here, which is also underneath the passenger side dash, you'll have the starter wire. You'll have your main sensor wire. It's a big black and orange one. There'll be a small black and orange one, and I believe that's it. Oh, the neutral switch is on there too. So I just tied it right into the starter. Okay. And then again, when you turn power on, this is hot all the time. When you turn power on, you have power to here, which runs switch power, ignition switch, from the O2 sensors to power. I don't even know if I need those because they say they're going to throw a code anyway. But I do have my secondary O2 sensor still hooked up in the wiring harness, and I could throw them in there, but without these secondary cats on there, it's still going to throw a code. What else? That should be it. And the rest of that wiring there goes to the fan. I got a mess here, I know. Okay. So I just got to straighten the wiring harness out, clean up my mess, take the wiring harness up. I'm going to actually take that motor down, move this motor out of the way, and put this motor here over here and run that one. I ain't never ran this one. It's got less miles than this one. I did do a water pump, timing belt, a little bit of paint. All right, let me know what you think. Thanks.